2 hours before the Allies reach, I think the camp here, the concentration camp is Bergen-Belsen. And the Nazi officer calls all the Jews out in the street. He rounds everybody up, all the inmates, all the Jewish people, the last people that stayed alive. This is 2 hours before the Allies are going to liberate the camp. They know it's coming. So he gathers them all into the center of the camp. And he gets up on a podium, this head Nazi bastard. And he says, for those of you that are still alive, and there was definitely a couple hundred, he says, I know many of you risk your lives to keep kosher. These Nazis were very smart, very highly educated people. Many of them knew more about Judaism than many Jews living in Germany. And he said, I know, I found out a lot of people somehow stayed alive. I don't know how you did it. And not only stayed alive, but kept kosher here in camp. Not only that, but I know that people even kept other things about that your Torah says to do. And you made it this far. And he pulls out, this Nazi, a big pig. But it stops here. You're about to be liberated. And I'm going to give you guys an option. You either could eat pig. Let's see how long you can hold on to your Judaism. You can eat this pig, and then you'll live. But if you refuse, I'm going to kill you. This is 2 hours left to liberation. So the story goes, where this Jew came forth. Now, I want to tell you something. According to Jewish law, there's 3 times, I might have mentioned this before, there's 3 times when a Jew is supposed to give up their life. If you don't, you're not committing a sin. But Judaism teaches at a very young age, till you die 120 years old, there's 3 cardinal sins when a Jew is supposed to give up their life. One is,
murder.
Anyone know?
Murder.
Thank you, Benji. Murder. Someone says, hey, Ross, you either kill that guy or you get killed. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. We don't murder. You got to kill me. You got to take the bullet. Number 2. Anyone know?
Adultery.
Adultery. Someone says commit adultery. No, I'm not doing it. You got to take the bullet. And the last one, Michal?
If someone comes up to you and says if you eat pig in front of people.
Correct. So you jumped ahead already. Great. But there's something even before that. You're not wrong. And we're going to get to that. But there's something before that. There's one big cardinal sin that Jews were not allowed to do.
Money?
No.
Idol worship.
Correct. Benji got it again. Idol worship. Benji out of control. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah,
Oh, who do you want to be
we'll
when
see.
you grow up? There you
Good
go.
question.
If someone says you either bow down to this cross, then you'll live. I'm not. We don't do idol worshiping. I'm taking the bullet. Those 3 cardinal sins Jews were taught at a very young age. Anyone religious, anyone Orthodox walking around, no matter how young you are, you know this. This is something that calls for you giving up your life. But everything else, any other commandment in the Torah, you're supposed to break it. That means if someone says, hey, you got to save someone's life, even though it's Shabbos, I got to jump in the car, you're obligated, according to Torah, to jump in the car and save somebody's life. Your life comes first by everything else. So if you're on Yom Kippur and the only thing you're around is a pig to eat, you're obligated on Yom Kippur and you're starving of starvation, you have nothing to eat, and you see a piece of ham sandwich, you're obligated, according to the Torah, to eat that ham sandwich. God wants you and you're obligated. You have to. It becomes a commandment that you have to do. You got that? Everything else becomes you have to. The only time it doesn't is by these 3 things that you're supposed to give up your life. However, what Michal was saying, which is pretty amazing because I thought they teach you that already in 8th grade, but he's only in 2nd grade, 4th grade. Shani's expecting number 6, and we really have to be, in 4th grade, you listen to this? That applies across the bat, except when a non-Jew comes over to you and wants you to denounce your Judaism in a way where even it's something like eating pig, where really you're supposed to eat. But if it's denouncing your Judaism, it's not because I'm hungry, I need something to eat, I'm going to eat a piece of paper. It's to denounce, it's to show that you're a Jew, but we're going to get you to break Judaism. Then, according to the code of law, according to the Talmud, according to the Torah tradition, you're supposed to give up your life. Even if it's changing a shoelace, says the code of law. That means if the non-Jew says, no, all I'm asking you to do to break it, just do like all the other religions, just change even your shoelace, something so small. But like a certain pagan religion does that to denounce your Judaism, you're not even supposed to do that. That's how strong Judaism is supposed to be. Where if it's someone's challenging you on your beliefs, you're supposed to stand up very strong the entire time, don't bend. So here, this Nazi presents to everybody, all you got to do is eat the pig. But for those that kept it, come on, let's see now. You're going to be free in 2 hours. You stayed alive the past 5 years in this concentration camp, in this hellhole. Let's see if you can stay and keep to your faith now. So without blinking, this Jew gets up in front of everybody, and he turns, I'm going to read to you in Hebrew. He says, I'm not eating it. He says to the officer, the Nazi bastard, he says to him, baboz, which means like in arrogance, like arahati, in a staunch figure that he was. Ani shamarti al atzmi kol hamilchama. I watched out the entire war, the whole Holocaust here. Shelo le'achol machalim asurim. I never ate anything prohibited. I did not eat anything not kosher. I stayed alive here in the concentration camp, eating potato peels, something like this, but I never ate the non-kosher food. And even the Gabiragaim Hachronim, even in the last moments now, we're 2 hours away from being liberated. It's done, we're free. 2 hours? Lo echol shum davar. I'm not eating anything. I'm not eating this meat. I'm not going to do it. The Nazi Hagermani Yarabo, he pulls out his gun, he shoots him. He kills this guy. This religious Jew who stayed the entire Holocaust, 5 years in this hellhole, keeping kosher, and the last 2 minutes, the last literally time, that's it. He didn't give up, and he got killed. The story's not over. 45 years later, his grandson is a successful businessman in Tel Aviv, a very nice secular Jew. And he's making a lot of money, sitting in his office, and the phone rings. Secretary says, Joe, line 1. He picks up, he says, Ken, it was his wife. Hey, honey, what's going on? Listen, Joe, I had such a rough day, the kids, everything like that. I didn't have time to cook dinner. Do me a favor, please, on the way home, could you stop off at the restaurant, pick up a couple of sandwiches, and we'll have dinner tonight. Honey, I love you, no problem. And he leaves his work, and he heads home. He stops off at the local non-kosher restaurant in Tel Aviv. There's many. And he comes online and he orders, he always goes to the store, and there he is, 2 people online in front of him. And he waits, and as he's waiting for the people in front of him to order, something flashes in his head. And he thinks to himself, my grandfather, as I was told, I never really knew him, my father told me, gave up his life, the last moments of being free, to keep kosher, to not eat pig. And here I am, about to order non-kosher to bring home to my family. He's thinking to himself. He starts freaking out, and he steps out of the line to compose himself. And he says, either my Zaidi was crazy, he was whacked, something was wrong, that he was totally lost it, or I'm crazy. But I don't think my grandfather was crazy. If he was sending me a message or doing something like that, it was important to him that he's willing to give up his life when about to be free. It must be something powerful. It must be something more special than that. And he leaves the restaurant, and he walks outside, and he makes a promise to himself. He says, I'm never, ever bringing non-kosher into my family, into my home. If it was important to my Zaidi, who was a special guy, then how could I do that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm going to be here ordering when he gave up his life for that. And he doesn't do it. And he makes a vow he's not bringing any more non-kosher to the home. Not only that, but he says, there's a synagogue down the block. I'm going to go check it out once in a while. 99% of the synagogues in Israel are Orthodox. He gets a relationship with the Orthodox rabbi. And slowly but surely he gets more religious. He starts keeping Shabbos. And that's great. becomes Tachzor B'Tshuva, as they say in Israeli Hebrew language. He becomes fully observant. The story doesn't finish there. He gets so wowed by Torah and mitzvahs and Judaism that he goes on to become a massive speaker in this unbelievable organization called Arachim. Arachim in Israel is an outreach organization. It's basically the JRC like it is here for University of Michigan. Arachim is a massive organization for secular Israelis that are lost their path and just become culturally Jewish and end up moving to America and going to India and working in the malls and putting on lotions on people and things like that are lost, many of them. Lost from their Jewish heritage. They reach out, Arachim, and they inspire soldiers and Israelis. This guy, Rabbi Bonus, his name is the grandson of the Zaidi who died because he wouldn't eat the non-kosher pig. And now, many of you will look into the story and see, like, it's such a sad thing. Like, why would the guy do that? He's about to be freed. That's one way to look at it. Or the other way to look at it is, look at his descendants. Look at the connection that he has now of his grandchildren, his great-grandchildren, the families that he's building. And all the hundreds and thousands of people that this guy, Rabbi Bonus now, he's still a money guy, he's still a successful business, but he's not only, he became a rabbi, and now he's educating thousands of people, Jewish people like you guys, to come home, as Hillary said. Bringing these Jews back home. So that Zaidi, when he made that conscious decision, you think about it, it's crazy. You're about to be freed, was setting the bar for his grandson years later to impact, to show people, to teach people that Judaism is a powerful thing. And if you're not connected to the past, if you're not connected to your grandparents, to your great-grandparents, you will not know how to live in the future. We live now in the future. We go forward because we know we're connected to the past. And by watching this video, by learning things here, that's what we're doing. We're trying to not brainwash you, or people tell you, parents call me up, what kind of crazy thing is that? My kid wants to keep kosher. I just want to show them this video, just like show them, like, lady, you know what that means? Like it's a beautiful thing. People gave up their lives because they were Jewish, because they wanted to keep kosher. And now you're upset that your kid wants to keep kosher? Who cares? It's amazing. Everyone leaves here. Some people, like, I was blown away. I've never seen this guy walks up the first class. That's crazy. He starts making comments. Everyone has different things. Some people shut off a phone for most of Shabbos. Some people do this. The idea here is to take upon something small. It doesn't have to be kosher. That could come maybe later on in life. Who knows? But something small, accept it, work on it, to become a better Jew, to implement it. Those small things, as many of you asked before, like what can we do to hopefully guarantee that our children will be involved in Judaism and marry Jewish and all the different things that we discussed. It's by taking things and showing your kids, God willing, one day, and showing your friends that, like, Judaism means something. It's not just a cultural thing. You're going to try to work on something, and even people are going to laugh at you. Look, aha, he's keeping kosher. You don't do anything else kosher. You definitely don't act so kosher in skeets or whatever it is, right? It doesn't make a difference. You take all the heat, but you guys have to have the last. At the end of the day, it's you. No one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you how to live your life. If it makes sense to you, take upon something small. I gave Sheldon here a few years ago. It was his birthday. I gave him a Shabbos lamp. I said, you travel around the world. You go trips all over across America or across the world. You come Shabbos, even when you put it in your hotel room, just put the light on before Shabbos. You did something, you made a difference between the weekday and Shabbos. And that way, when you come into your room, there's one less light switch that you have to do. But it's such a big deal. Yeah, it is a big deal. It's not a big deal for me because I grew up keeping Shabbos. For a guy who didn't grow up keeping Shabbos, yeah, to make a conscious decision to do something to separate between the weekday and Shabbos, to not turn on the light in your room because you have the Shabbos light, that's unbelievable. When your kids see that, they'll be blown away. They'll be like, yeah, this Judaism is really something. My parents are not whatever. They're not extremists. They're not too much. But something, it makes sense. I encourage everybody, I'm going to end with this. Maimonides is an intro 101 Judaism. Got that? You have 101, Econ 101, and Hebrew 101. Maimonides is 101. For those of you that are graduating, I wish you lots of luck. I'm always going to be there for you. And we're always there for you all the time. Whatever you need, wherever you go in America, I'm your rabbi for life. I told you, you can have your Reform rabbi, you can have your conservative rabbi. You got to have an Orthodox rabbi on your speed dial all the time. You got to have a rabbi. Like, again, then you could call anytime you have a question, something's bothering you. Call us up 24/6. There's no secretary. If you're an Orthodox rabbi, you don't need to get through. Just think about it. You don't need to get through to my secretary, leave it this and that. We're there for you. You call me, I call you back. You might, it's by mistake, sometimes we forget. You might have to call twice, but we're there. Whoop, it's never hard to get through to a rabbi that's Orthodox that I know. It's impossible. Even this rabbi who's a rabbi, who was Rabbi Yitzchak was talking about, was my Rosh Yeshiva. I lived there. This big yeshiva. He's a rabbi, he's our head rabbi of 6,000 students. And you could just walk into his house and he's there talking to them. You know what it takes to get a meeting with Mr. Schlissel? I got a meeting with him, but like you gotta meet the secretary, you gotta do this, like that. It doesn't work like that. The real deal, at the end of the day, you need anything, we're always there all the time. It's my blessing to everybody here is this is 101. Coming back, for those of you that are not graduating, next semester, I know you have a big break now, we're all here and we feel so amazing that we taught you and we educated you, but we appreciate and we really enjoy what we do, especially when you guys, and how you could repay us, I guess, is by coming back to learn, whether it's Rabbi Yitz, like he said, giving a little bit more. Judaism, a little dose of Judaism a week, 45 minutes a week, will make your entire week. I learned with Joe Constantino one-on-one. I learned with him today. I learned with him one-on-one. It makes your week. We have resources throughout the week that really take care of everybody. So again, my request is, this is just introduction. We really appreciate if you guys could come back and study and take it to the next level. But again, whatever level that is, everyone's different. Everyone has different things. Kosher might not be a thing. Shabbos, who knows? Something small. Rock with it. Come back and study and do something. Change the world, because you guys are it. As Sheldon said, you guys are going to be the politicians. You're going to be the powerful senators one day. You guys are going to be the big business people, the biggest lawyers, the biggest accountants, everyone that is going to make a massive decision. U of M, face it, you guys are awesome. Very bright students. You're going to get the awesome jobs. But how you use that job, of when you're that successful lawyer, to help that Jew in need, that accountant that you know that you can help that Jewish institution do their accounting for free. Yeah. Because we're all there to make money, and that's great. But use your talents, whatever talent that you have, to give back to the Jewish community. It doesn't necessarily have to be writing a check. I mean, we're not really opposed to that. I'm not going to lie. But again, the idea is, if Judaism means something, don't just think it. You got to show it. You got to act it also. You got to implement it physically. So thank you so much for coming. And like I said, I want to thank Chase and your buddy for tuning in almost every single week. Great to have you as well. I want to thank all of you for coming every single week, basically. And you're always invited to my house for Shabbos. And guys, Shani, you want to tell them a little bit about Pesach? Okay. Passover in my house. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be amazing. It's very, very powerful, very moving. A real Seder experience. I'm talking about, Sean, what time do they usually show up?
I think it's a little later this year because it's later in the year, probably like.
But they're going to come early. You're going to give them food. Yeah.
We'll have
Sean's going to give people food before. So around 7:30 maybe, something like that. You give before, then we settle everybody, relax. The Seder starts around 9 o'clock because we actually start when it gets dark, when you're really supposed to start. You get what I'm saying? When Passover actually comes in, that's when we start, around 9 o'clock. And it goes literally to around 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm having families. I'm having the wine family for the Pesach Seder. I'm having a family coming in from Miami, Florida, a grandmother with the daughter, a student who's in U of M law school. Rachel Beckman's coming with her grandmother. We're having people coming in. It's going to be a lot of fun. The kids, we put them in, take naps during the day. They stay up to that late. It's explanatory. It's in English. We explain certain things in Hebrew. It will not be boring. You will be psyched. It will be very, very powerful. And it will introduce to you things that, God willing, when you become a Zaidi, or even before that, when you become a parent, you'll be able to teach your kids what it means to be a Jew. You'll be the Zaidi, as it says on the video. You'll be the Zaidi for your grandchildren, God willing. That's what we try to teach her. So thank you for coming, and thank you again, Mr. Sheldon, for Mr. Young, for really encouraging us to show this video again. And guys, you come from a very rich heritage, so a lot of pressure on you guys and girls. Really, good luck. Thank you so much. Yes. Pesach is 2 weeks from this Friday night, this coming Friday night. Okay, so Friday night and Saturday night. What? Yeah. We'll do everything again. Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you. You're all dismissed. So So thanks for coming. If you mind, everyone can help just clean up, and then it'll be amazing. Thank you, guys and girls. Please, we have Siddurim here again. I want everyone to take one or a book. Just got Jewish stuff, questions, whatever you like. And don't forget to leave over with that. Take home one.
They're almost at home now.
Thank you.